Dara was washing clothes at the back of the house when she heard a crash inside of her house. She was shocked at the noise, but she continued washing the clothes. She didn't bother to check what happened or what caused the noise, and she continued on. At 13 years old, she was used to the sound of her parents fighting every day. When she was younger, she would always cry and be bothered whenever her parents fought, but now it was a usual thing and she did not care much about it. Dara grew up to become a troublesome girl. She had the attitude of insulting people who annoyed her, whether they were young or old. She would fight with other girls in the stream whenever they had a disagreement and would even fight with boys. Because of this, other parents warned their daughters not to become friends with her and to avoid her whenever she would bring her trouble close to them. One day, Dara went to the stream to fetch water. On getting to the stream, the other girls there left the stream for her to fetch the water, even though they got there before her. One of the girls, however, did not leave. She insisted on fetching her water first, since Dara met her there. Dara was angry at this and left the stream as if she was going back home. But instead, she waited for the girl on the road that led to the village. Dara jumped out of the bush, pushed the pot of water from the girl's head, and this fell on the ground and broke, and also gave her a dirty sound slap and warned her never to cross her path in the village again. Tochi ran home in tears to report to her mother what had happened to her. On getting home, she saw that her uncle, who was her mother's younger brother, came to visit them. She narrated the story of what had happened, and an uncle, Gozie, was angry that someone has beat up his niece and asked Tochi to show her who the person was. On getting to Dara's house, Gozie asked Dara why she beat up his niece, and Dara proceeded to insult Gozie. "What kind of a man are you?" she said. "Coming here to fight a woman. Coming here to fight for your niece. Your mates are doing valuable things in their life and you are here coming to fight." She then proceeded to call him all sorts of names. Gozie tried to keep his temper under control, but in anger, he gave Dara a dirty slap. The slap made her lose her balance and she fell on the ground, hitting her face on a nearby sharp stone, and she started bleeding. Dara let out a scream on seeing the blood, calling other villagers to come and see that Gozie wanted to kill her. People came and took Gozie to the king's palace while Dara was taken to treat her wounds. The next day, the king invited Gozie and Dara to the palace. Dara's mother also came along. Dara's mother insisted that since Gozie had disfigured her daughter's face, that Gozie would marry her daughter. Gozie apologized that he normally would not raise his hand against a woman, but that she insulted him and she provoked him. However, Dara's mother refused to accept the apology. In her heart, she was glad she had finally seen someone that would take Dara and her trouble off her hands. Then the king gave his judgment. He said that Gozie will have to marry Dara since he has given her a scar on her face. He also said that if he hears that Gozie hits Dara again or any other woman, that he will be banished from the land. So Gozie had to marry Dara. Gozie and Dara started living together as husband and wife, but it was not happily ever after. Dara would constantly nag at Gozie. She was disrespectful to him, not respecting him as her husband. She would refuse to cook for him and would even call him names. She knew that Gozie would not be able to do anything, or else the king would banish him from the land. Gozie was frustrated about this and always found it difficult to return back home after working in the farm every day. He would rather stay in the farm till late at night or go to the palm wine joint till late at night when he will return home, hoping that Dara would be asleep. Every day, Gozie regretted ever going to Dara's house, and he wished he had never gone to Dara's house that day and that he had never been forced to marry her. One day, Gozie's friend came from another village to visit him and decided to stop by. When he got there, Gozie gave him a seat and proceeded to bring out palm wine for the both of them to drink. Just then, Dara returned from the market. She saw the boatmen outside and walked past them, refusing to greet or even acknowledge their presence as she entered the house. Gozie's friend was surprised that his wife did not even greet them. The whole time he was there, she did not even ask if him or his friend had eaten anything. Gozie was embarrassed at the whole situation, and after his friend left, he confronted Dara at her behavior and how she embarrassed him in front of his friend. Dara simply hissed at him and asked him if she was a slave and then walked out on him. One evening, after a few days had passed, Dara was outside waiting for Gozie to come back as she wanted to confront him about the money he left for food, as it was not enough. She sat outside of the house, waiting patiently for him to come home. When he did not return, Dara went into the house, thinking that he was going to come home late, and decided to sleep so that she would confront him the next day. She decided that the next day she was going to give him double trouble for the money he left for food and also for coming home late. So the next morning, when Dara woke up from her sleep, she noticed that Gozie was not around. She also noticed that he did not come home last night, as his clothes from the previous day were not there, and the house did not look like anyone had entered it. She was not bothered and felt like maybe he slept at his friend's house, or that he would come home to take a bath and change his clothes before going to the farm that day. By afternoon, Gozie had not returned back home, and Dara was beginning to become worried, even though she tried not to show it. But by evening, she went to Gozie's farmland to look for him, but he was not there. At this point, she was becoming really scared that something had happened to him. She returned home and tried to sleep, so she could continue her search tomorrow, but she couldn't sleep. A lot of thoughts were going through her mind. What if he had been kidnapped, she thought, or what if he was dead? She thought to herself. She was too young to become a widow, and all these thoughts were running through her mind. At cock crow the next day, she left her house and went to the houses of Gozie's friends to look for him. They all told her that they had not seen him, and nobody even pitied on her because of her troublesome behavior towards her husband and everyone else. They all felt that Gozie had left her for good. Dara searched for Gozie for 7 days without success, and at this point she was confused as to what to do. People were gossiping about her all over the village that she had either killed her husband or made him run away from his home because of her trouble. She went to her mother and told her about her missing husband, but her mother told her to go and look for him as her home was not open for her anymore because she did not want any trouble. As Dara walked back home that day, she tried to think of where else to look for Gozie. Then she remembered Gozie's childhood friend who came to visit them the other time. She remembered that Gozie told her that he came all the way from Umunna village to see him, and Dara couldn't even pretend to welcome him. So, Dara decided to go to look for Gozie's friend. When she got to Umunna village, she asked for the house of Ikenna, Gozie's friend, and she was directed there. On getting there, she got the shock of her life when she saw another maiden serving Gozie food, and Gozie was looking very happy and healthy. Dara was ashamed of herself and went down on her knees to greet Gozie and the maiden, which was something she had never done before. Gozie was surprised to see the proud and troublesome Dara looking humble. Dara then apologized to Gozie about her proud and troublesome behavior. Gozie's friend Ikenna came out of the house and was surprised to see Dara on the ground in tears, begging Gozie. She then pleaded with him to help her beg Gozie. Then she told Gozie the story of why she was the way she was and why she had the character she had. She told Gozie of how when she was growing up she was always seeing her parents fighting every day, and how she came to have that behavior of being troublesome because that was the example her parents laid down for her. She also said that she was scared that Gozie was going to leave her since she was forced to marry her, and that's why she had to show up that behavior so that he wouldn't think she was weak and leave her. and now her behavior had driven him away. She also told him that he was willing to change and was willing to be a better wife and a more loving and caring wife if Gozie comes back home. Gozie then embraced her and told her that he forgave her and was willing to take her back because he had come to love her over time as his wife. When they returned home, Dara did her best to change her behavior, and people around were shocked at her behavior change. She then started learning from older women who had successful marriages on how to become a better wife. She and Gozie were blessed with children, and they lived happily after as a big family. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and share our video, and also to subscribe to this channel. Thank you.